Would you buy anything else?
Open your mind, open your world, open yourself to your surroundings.
On Northwest Ag
Bar shooting, 3 people killed, 7 wounded. 2 suspects allegedly opened fire.
Storm Tracker Julia Espinosa for News Radio 610 KONA.
No fake news here.
Information that was false and fake got released to the public.
Just the facts. News Radio 610 KONA.
The Car Show continues with Roger Puffy, Dan Petras, and Steve Stewart.
You know our number, 1-800-859-0957. That's 1-800-859-0957. Remember, the Car Show, not just for those of you who are able to work on your own vehicles, equally, if not more, design. For those of you that don't know absolutely anything about your car but need some advice, so when you take it into the professional of your choice, you're armed with the information to get to the solution as fast as you can. What?
I'm a little disappointed. You know, I called that number last week because I had a car problem. Nobody answered. That's because you were busy.
Yeah, exactly. Consider yourself lucky because you'd have gotten a bad answer.
Whoa!
All right, let's go to Jerry.
It's honest, but me.
Jerry has a 2015 Chevrolet Equinox. Jerry, relatively new car. How many miles?
Just over 9,000.
All right, and you say your air conditioning isn't working right?
Well, yes. I took a trip to the UP a couple weeks ago, and on the way home,
of room, but
neighborhood, but the fire moved so quickly, one never came. Alex Stone, ABC News, Redding, California.
There are also fires burning in Napa and Mendocino counties. President Trump tweeting this morning, warning Democrats he'll shut down the government if he doesn't get the votes to pass immigration and border security legislation, which includes the wall. Ohio Congressman Steve Stivers on ABC's This Week.
We need border security. We can't have open borders that the opposing party is for. We can't eliminate ICE.
Democrat Ben Ray Lujan says his party will stand strong until the House Speaker and his party are ready to compromise.
It's under Speaker Paul Ryan that Republicans refuse to bring the DREAM Act to the floor, refuse to bring the USA Act, which is a bipartisan bill, to overturn President Trump's demeaning actions on Dreamers that also includes border security protections, in addition to what we can do with the DREAM Act itself.
Stivers and Lujan on ABC's This Week. A search continues in New Orleans for 2 suspects in a bar shooting. Police Chief Michael Harrison says 3 people were killed, 7 wounded.
We believe that they actually stood over one of the individuals and fired multiple rounds, and then after that fled.
You're listening to ABC News.
Walgreens has good news for anyone managing diabetes. We've got your back. That's right. Walgreens pharmacists are here to consult with you in person and answer any questions you may have about new and existing medications. You can even get free advice from our trusted experts day and night at walgreens.com or the mobile app. Walgreens has all major brands of diabetes testing supplies like Accucheck and Walgreens Trimetrics. That's not just good news, it's great news. Stop by and talk to your Walgreens pharmacist today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901.
Grainger stands for safety, and they know what safety stands for. S, safety. A, all about safety. F, feeling good about safety. E, extreme safety. T, talking about safety. Y, you guessed it, safety. First aid kits, eye wash stations, fire protection, you name it. For over 90 years, they've been helping to keep facilities safe and people safer. When it comes to safety, Grainger's got your BACK. Call or click Grainger.com to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You may still be having problems with your credit from that big Equifax data breach. The credit reporting agency first noticed it had been hacked a year ago today, but didn't say anything about it till September.
The Equifax hack gave up golden information. It gave the full financial DNA of consumers that could be used to get credit in your name.
U.S. Perg's Ed Merzwinski says consumers should still be monitoring their credit. A new dad got a little food for thought before making a major decision.
When it came time to pick a new name for their new baby white rhino, the North Carolina Zoo left the choice to the rhino's father. 3 names selected in a public vote were placed on polls filled with hay, and Dad picked out the name Nandi. The name was taken from a queen of the Zulus who died in 1827. Nandi was born on the 2nd of July and is the first white rhino born at the zoo in 41 years. White rhinos were a near-threatened species, and zookeepers had almost given up on her dad impregnating a female. Now the rest is history. Dave Schreiber, ABC News.
When people ask a little boy named Matthew where he was born, he's going to be able to say at Six Flags Over Georgia. His mom went into labor at the theme park's Hurricane Harbor recently. He's also going to have some bragging rights. Matthew will be able to say that he gets free admission to the park for life. So does Mom. This is ABC News.
Don't sleep on today. There's a world to conquer. Don't sleep on yesterday. No need to dwell on the past. Sleep on tomorrow, the highest rated mattress on the internet. Tomorrow Sleep products are designed by the world's leading sleep experts for deep, uninterrupted sleep. Want to feel like you're sleeping in the clouds? For $125 off, plus 2 free pillows, use promo code AWAKE2 at tomorrowsleep.com.
Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Good morning. Our forecast calling for a sunny and hot day, reaching a high near 100. Tonight will be clear with an overnight low around 66. And expect a strong heat wave to settle into our Monday, reaching a high near 105, and into Tuesday, a temperature near 104. That's your forecast. Keeper Storm Tracker Julia Espinoza for News Radio 610 KONA.
You are listening to the Water Follies thanks to Farmers Exchange on News Radio 610 KONA, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco. Welcome to live coverage of the 2018 Columbia Cup on News Radio 610 KONA. Presented by Farmers Exchange in Kennewick and brought to you by Tire Factory, IBEW Local 112, Lynx Healthcare, Barry Long at Everstar Realty, Bunch Fitting and Appliance, Local 598 Plumbers and Steam Fitters, All City Transmission, West Side Auto Licensing, Perfection Miller Paint, You Pull It Auto Parts, Griggs Ace Hardware, A1 Refrigeration and Heating, Buffalo Brothers, Solgen Power, Physicians Immediate Care, Anderson Dental, Esco Electric, West Coast Auto Dealers, and Tri-Cities Phone and PC Repair. Now to the Columbia River with Mike McDonald.
Good morning and welcome to Rooster Tails and Rainbows. Michael McDonald at the Brutzman's Memorial Barge, Tom Brutzman's Memorial Barge at the Griggs Ace Hardware start-finish line along with Ed Dawson and Frank Cooper. Down in the Lamson pits, thanks to A1 Refrigeration and Heating, it's Brad Luce along with Glenn Vaughan, and at Tire Factory turn number 2 on the Pasco side of our 4-corner super speedway 2.5-mile oval in the Tri-Cities. Kevin Rounce on the Freedom Rentals lift with the Echo Bearcat generator providing power. Ed, you couldn't start with better conditions. Light wind out of the west, about 4 miles per hour, 67 degrees. Weather update from Anderson Dental, KennewickSmiles.com, the Tri-Cities Smile Center in South Kennewick.
It's going to warm up to around 100 degrees again, and it's, later in the day, the weather might play a bit of a factor, but, zero, next to no wind, which is always the key, especially when you're dealing with hydroplanes that are going at a high rate of speed. And we already have some testing on the water, as you can hear in the background. Got a number of boats that have already been on the water.
That would be Greg Hopp in the 1 GPW boat, Mr. Julio. Let's go down to the Lamson pits. Glenn Vaughan and Brad Luce, good morning. Well, we'll check back in. Let's head over to Tire Factory turn number 2 and Kevin Rounce.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you today as Mr. Hopp swings his way through Tire Factory turn 2?
I mentioned this earlier, and it's a melancholy day. Why? Well, we've got all the excitement that lies ahead, but then there's nothing.
Yeah.
It's the last day.
I tell you what, Michael and I were talking, Kevin. This seems like this weekend has just flown by.
Really, the whole build-up to water follies and the races and everything, I feel like the whole week has flown by. But no, this is exciting. This is the day everybody waits for. This is the day where the biggest crowds are. This is the day where we get to see 3 different sets of, 2 heats and a championship final at the H1s. We get multiple races with the GPs and the 5 liters. This is a day just wall-to-wall racing. Greg Hopp obviously sounds like he's going right in front of you guys.
He is.
I think he revved it up just for us. Passing us at the start-finish.
GP1 DeJulio with Greg Hopp. We had out on the course in the GPW class the Miss Tri-Cities Trust Company with Ed Preston just a moment ago, the bright blue boat with white sponsons, and up on the cockpit lid it's white, but it has the tail on it. And remember how well he ran in rough water yesterday, Kevin, especially coming through Tire Factory turn number 2, West Coast Auto Dealers turn number 1. Right over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was a class of the field, beating Jamie Nielsen, and unfortunately the 18 didn't have much there, and we lost a boat there as well. But it'll be interesting to see what we have. I mean, Greg Hopp, we'll see if Jerry gets in the boat today in the GP15.
Probably should.
He probably will. And then, of course, Ed Preston's there. Jamie Nielsen won a race this weekend. So this GP boat, we could see 4 wide coming around turn 3, turn 4, coming to the start-finish line to see who's going to win this.
Want to try down to the pits one more time to see if Brad or Glenn may be available for us.
Yeah, good morning, Michael, Kevin. How are you all doing this morning?
Fantastic. Good to hear your voice in my headset, Glenn.
Well, that's probably the first time I've ever heard that. I did want to let you guys in on a little news this morning.
Glenn, I said it last year, too.
Oh, okay. Well, my memory's going on me as I get older. I want to let you guys know that up on the big board here, we learned that the U12, I know we've been talking about the GPs, but moving over to the Unlimiteds, J. Michael Kelly, the U12 was disqualified from that second heat yesterday. And I was talking to Brad about this just a moment ago. Apparently, there was a fuel flow problem post-race. So during that check, the fuel flow issue there, so he was disqualified from that second heat, and that's going to impact the points.
All right, is Brad with you?
Brad
I
is.
am here. Good morning.
There you are.
Welcome
Good to hear
race
you
day.
in my headset this morning.
How
Now-
about that? And a perfect lead-in that Mr. Boggin just had, because away from the dock comes the U12, J. Michael Kelly and the Graham Trucking. Now they are sitting there with only 70 points.
And right now, Perfection Miller points recap. Kevin's going to have to recalculate all that, and we'll be following it all day. We have 2 sets of heat racing, right? 4 races coming up before we get to the championship final. So there's still an opportunity to nose into the final.
So, and if you would like that points recap, I could go run it down for you real quick.
Well, Kevin's doing it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here. In fact, that'll put him, as of right now, that puts the U12 in 7th place for the weekend with 70 points. Top of the leaderboard, as expected, the U1, Miss Home Street, 900 points. In second, the U9, the Les Schwab Tires boat, 780. In third, the U19, Oh Boy Oh Puerto, 685. The U21, Darryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance at 565. In fifth, the U440 Bucket List Racing at 499. In sixth, the U11 Reliable Diamond Tool presents J&Ds with 350. Then in seventh, that U12 Graham Trucking was 70. The 99.9 CarStar Powers Miss Rock has not gotten an opportunity to score any points so far this weekend. And the U3 Griggs Ace Hardware also hasn't scored any points, and in part of a milling period, committed a penalty that cost them 150 points. So, well, the U12 is out of the final 6 right now.
And maybe, Kevin, the best run we have seen for J. Michael Kelly in the bright red Graham Trucking 12.
Yeah, he's yesterday he ran. He couldn't keep up with the 1918, and right now I think they're trying to see if they can find some power, find some speed, so they can get out, score enough points today that they're not the trail boat when we come to the end of the day.
And Brad, he's running loose out there. We've seen him on the front stretch trapping that air underneath the boat. Looks really good.
It does look really good when they're up and running and it's running right. And so let's hope that is an omen of things to come later in the day, because going through the points, as we just learned from Kevin, he's sitting in 7th spot. And like we say in the NFL, you know, if the season ended today, you'd be in the playoffs. Well, if we ran the final heat right now,
he would.
He'd be the trailer.
Well, Brad,
right.
Brad, maybe some perspective, and I don't want to be the negative Nancy this morning, but let's play that scenario out. You have a defending champion that potentially could not make the final on points. Not talking about, you know, an equipment problem or a wreck or anything like that, but I don't know that that's happened too many times here at the Columbia Cup.
No, it hasn't, and I certainly don't have any of those memories coming to mind off the top of my head where that has occurred. But yeah, and it would be really sad, because as we've kind of been having fun with all weekend, he keeps saying that shade down there under Bernie's tree is worth fighting for, and they're really going to be scratching and clawing. I'm standing here looking at the point totals, and a couple of boats we need to keep our eyes on are the 11 that has 350 points, and the Bucket List Racing 440. Bucket List Racing, we all know it's not the quickest boat on the water, but so far he's starting and finishing, and he's got 499 points. So, you know, he just keeps throwing a few more points on the pile, and it could have a big impact here later in the day, as you just brought up.
And our points recap thanks to Perfection Miller Paint, now with the Joanna Gaines collection. You'll find them off of Steptoe on Victoria near Gage. The paint experts, Perfection Miller Paints. Also, thanks to our title sponsor, Farmers Exchange. Had a chance to visit with Keith Silliman yesterday after our coverage, and they'll be down in the park today enjoying the action. Farmers Exchange, 95 years in downtown Kennewick, and now online, it's mowerhome.com.
We do have some speeds, by the way, for some of the boats that have been out testing this morning.
And we need to cover that too, Kevin, because we saw the new Home Street Bank out on the course earlier this morning. They opened up at 7:30 this morning.
And that new U1 was fast, topping out at 160.3 on that boat. The U12 top speeds were at 153 flat. We saw the U19-18 out there. Its top speed was at 155.8. And then, yeah, like I said, the top for the U1 was 160.3.
So a number of boats out testing. And Brad, what do you think about that, a 160 for the new Home Street craft?
Well, we were standing right behind them on the pit wall there when he went out this morning, and we realized it was the new boat, so we went down and we're taking a look at it and watching it, and everybody was just jaws were dropping. The second time you ever put the boat in the water and you're north of the 160-mile-an-hour spot, it was pretty darned impressive. One can only wonder what's going to happen when they dial that boat in and they get a good boat ride and know what they're doing with it. I think that's an omen of things to come with that hydroplane, and now I start to wonder, we might see that boat next week in Seattle.
You know, and maybe you can touch on this, because the one thing I keep thinking about is the commitment to the sport.
Yep.
By investing in a new boat and putting another boat out on the water.
We were having this discussion last night at dinner that Mark Mason, the chief executive officer of Home Street Bank, he's the best thing we've got going in the sport right now, because of, to your point, the investment that he has made, not only in his own team, but to the sport in general. He has stepped up on a couple of occasions and has sponsored the race in San Diego.
Yep.
He purchased the former Budweiser, what was it called? Hydroplanes Incorporated from Joe Little. That facility in Tukwila, which is it's a complete one-stop shop for boat racing. He's opened it up to anybody that wants to bring their boat in and work on it. If we were to have an issue and a boat tear up a sponson or something here today, they don't have to go back home. They can go over to that shop in Tukwila and work on it there. So it's a big investment that Home Street has made in this sport, and we're darn glad to have them around. Let me step back just a little bit, Mike. I want to give an update on the U3 and the 99.9.
Last we heard, the 3 was going to put in another engine after they had a piston problem.
I am staring at it right now. There is a bullet in the boat. It appears to be ready to go, and the one crewman who is on the deck is bent over the cockpit, so that's a good thing. There doesn't seem to be anybody thrashing up on the deck. The other part to that whole puzzle is we always say that the qualifying is really important, and because you do earn points toward national high points, but the other part of that is those points count toward making it in the final, and the only reason that J. Michael Kelly is boat number 7 on that list is because of their qualifying speed besting the U3, because neither one of them have any racing points, but JMK is ahead of the U3 because of the 70 points he got in qualifying. The other boat we've got floating around is Aaron Salmon's ride, the 99.9 Carstar-powered Miss Rock. The news isn't near as good down there. There's some pretty long faces down there in that camp. I did speak with Aaron Salmon this morning. He said, we're just chasing our tails here on this electrical thing. They've made progress, and they're still working on it, but they've got an electrical issue, and they're chasing their tails, and let's just wish them the best of luck and hope they get out here. I know Aaron's just dying to drive here on this river. He's a local kid from the west side. So right now it's not good in that camp, but we won't write him off just yet.
Well, and he did unfortunately get the Heat 3A draw, so they have a little bit less time to get that boat ready. If they can get it ready to try to race it all, at least in the first heat racing this morning. Same story with the U3. They have a little bit less time as they are also in the Heat 3A. So we'll see if either of those could get their boats ready to go for our first race later today. Michael, I think that's at, what, 9:50? You got the...
Yeah, it's 9:50, and why don't you go ahead and just run through, if you have Heat 3A and 3B rundown.
Let's go ahead and do that. Heat 3A, which is indeed at 9:50 this morning, will consist of the U9 and the Les Schwab Tire with Andrew Tate. The U11, the Reliable Diamond Tool presents J&D's. The U12, the Graham Trucking boat. That U99.9 Carstar powers Miss Rocks, if we can get that boat up and on the water. And then the U3 Griggs Ace Hardware boat. That is your 5-boat race on Heat 3A. In Heat 3B, which occurs about 20 minutes after the conclusion of Heat 3A, will be the U1, the Miss Home Street boat. The U19-18, the Oh Boy Oberto. The 21 with the Darryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance, and the U440 Bucket List Racing. That could be maybe the 440 keeps starting and finishing, and I think for JMK there, Brad, I think he would have liked to seen that 440 maybe in a 5-boat race, so he got a little bit less points as he tries to gather back. But it's got to, right now, I think for the U12, it's got to be about them getting that boat ready.
Yeah, bingo. You were spot on with that. I was thinking, I had not seen the draw, and so I was listening very intently, and you are exactly right. That's one of the boats they want to pick off from a point standpoint. So, yeah, they'd love to have him in that 5-boat field. They'd love to have him finish in 5th place instead of 4th. Every little point's going to help here with those guys. JMK'd like to have a heat where he's the only boat in it right now. So he can go out there and get 400, but now he's going to be staring down the barrel of Mr. Tate.
Yeah, and just a reminder for folks who we talk about points, and I don't know that we've got an opportunity, but we do get points for your finish 1 through 7 throughout the weekend for every heat race. First place wins 400 points. The second place boat will receive 300 points. The third place boat, 225 points. Fourth place, 169. Fifth place at 95, and sixth place at 71. So again, that difference between fourth and fifth is about 70 points or so. And who knows when we get to the end of the day today whether that 70 points is that big a difference.
Well, like you said, every point counts, and with Heat 3A, the 99.9 a question mark, that could very well be a 4-boat field. Yes, it has the 9 and the 11, but we'll keep our eye out for the U12 and see what kind of points they can garner, and see if they can leapfrog over the 440. But you know what, guys? So we're going to have some heat racing before long. The coming up at 8:50, scheduled to start the Washington National